India is counting down to the big general elections, and even here at Davos, a lot of the conversations are about what may happen in April, May, when India goes to the polls. This, of course, is the year of the election. And joining us now, straight from Mumbai, landing up in Davos after a big political switch, Milind Deora. Milind, welcome. Thank you in your new capacity, the first time we're meeting.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You've been here a few times in the past, but this time it's in a very different capacity. You've been on the political fence for a while. It's long been speculated that ab gaya, ja raha hai, baat ho rahi hai. Why did you pick the Eknath Shinde Sena?
Well, firstly, the idea of wanting to leave a party with which I have, or my family has, a half a century relationship with was very, very, very difficult. It was not something I wanted to do or could do easily. But honestly, an opportunity came up where I think someone like Mr. Shinde, who I've known for some time, and he had a very clear vision for what he thought I could bring to the table.
Which is what?
Which is essentially to help him attract investments to the state, to help develop Mumbai. I don't know if you've been following, but what's happening in the city in terms of infrastructure. The Prime Minister recently launched a bridge called the MTHL, which is the longest sea bridge in the country. And there's a massive thrust towards infrastructure in Mumbai in the last decade or so. And he has a very clear vision for what he wants to happen in Mumbai and in Maharashtra. And he said, this is something where I would want somebody like you with your experience to come forward. And
isn't it a very tricky, tenuous position for you? Because you don't know how long he's chief minister for. You don't know whether, because he's not a chief minister who's won to be chief minister. He's someone who various circumstances have come together to make him chief minister at this time. What happens after the next Maharashtra assembly elections? Neither do I know, nor do you. Why take such a big risk?
Look, Rahul, you've been covering politics for a long time, and there's an old adage. In fact, I've been saying it for over a decade that the only thing that's more disruptive than technology is politics. And predicting and foreseeing what will happen in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years is impossible to do in Indian politics. More so in Maharashtra. If 5 years ago I told you that the Congress party and the Shiv Sena would enter into an alliance, or if you told me that, I would have fallen down laughing on the floor. It was something which was impossible. Nobody could conceive of it. Both parties, the leadership couldn't conceive of it. I think that, things have changed wherein today politics, the voter of Mumbai, Maharashtra, India, anywhere in the world, rewards people who really work hard, people who have a developmental agenda, people who are more positive than negative. And I've always, for one, my kind of politics has always been very constructive, very much of, if you tell me there's a problem and we can't do it, I'm like, no, I'll find a solution to solve it. A very solution-oriented approach towards politics. And he has that refreshing approach, which is that, if you say you can't do something, he's saying, no, let's make it happen.
Why pick the Shinde Sena and not the BJP? It should have been a safer harbor for someone like you.
Well, it's not, these are not things where you go into a market and into a 7-Eleven or a supermarket and you say, let's choose which product is best for me and which brand is best for me. Things happen, right place, right time. I was feeling that I want to do something more constructive. I was feeling that I want to contribute in a more meaningful way towards my city, towards the state, towards the country. I was feeling a little lost with the state of politics and my role in politics, frankly, in the last few years.
But the Congress can say we've given you and your family so much.
I would not. I've moved on from the Congress. I wish them well. I don't have any ill feelings towards them. I hope they don't have any ill feelings towards me. As I said, to me, I want to contribute in a constructive, positive way. I've left behind what the Congress, the Congress gave me a lot. My family gave the Congress a lot. And we also dedicated 55 years of our lives to the party. And I wish them the best. So I don't have anything negative to talk about them. The reasons of why I left are pretty much outlined in a note that I put out when I left the party. And now I'm really looking forward towards the future. So
why is it that all those women who are the closest to Rahul Gandhi, yourself, Jyotiradittya Scindia, Jatin Prasad, those were literally, at least, maybe not right now, but initially seen politically as being part of his core inner circle. They're the ones who've left.
Again, I would not really want to get into why I left, or what may be right or wrong with the party. I think each individual had a different reason. They're all good friends of mine, and for me now it's a new chapter in my life, and everyone who's called to wish me, regardless of their political affiliations, has said congratulations, Milind, on a new chapter in your life, and I want to contribute meaningfully going forward. Nothing about me will change. I'll be the same person that I am, and I will continue to be accessible to all walks of people. And somebody like Mr. Shinde and the party that the Shiv Sena under his leadership. When I joined the party, people from all communities joined the party. The idea of the fact that, for example, a regional party has a very regional flavor to it, a very Maharashtrian flavor only. There were people from all communities who joined me. There were trade associations who otherwise would never have seen Shiv Sena as a choice. There were business associations. There were the biggest trading groups in Mumbai city and Maharashtra city that joined us as well. There were people from the minority community that joined us, from Muslim community, Parsi community. So,
But the sense also is, at least that's what some of the polls seem to suggest, that some of the sympathy politically still seems to be with the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena, and that's a challenge that the Shinde Sena will have.
Again, these are all speculations, and these are things which have not been tested. To be very honest with you, Rahul, in 2019, Shiv Sena, the erstwhile Shiv Sena and BJP fought the elections together under Devendra Fadnavis's leadership. The Congress and NCP fought the elections together. And what happened after that, the political disruption that happened, where Shiv Sena broke away from the BJP and joined hands with the Congress and NCP, the result of that has not been tested electorally in Maharashtra. So everything is conjecture and speculation. Who has sympathy, who doesn't have sympathy. One thing I can tell you is what I've seen with a man like Eknath Shinde ji. Extremely hardworking, extremely accessible. I have been going to Varsha, which is the Chief Minister's official bungalow in Malabar Hill, since childhood. Since even before the days when Sharad Pawar was the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. I remember when President Obama became the President of the US and he said, I'm opening up the White House to the people of America. It doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the people of America. That's exactly what Eknath Shinde has done with the Varsha bungalow. He's made it so accessible. He's a man, on the day that I joined the party, he suggested we should do this joining event at Varsha bungalow. Varsha bungalow has never had 1,500 people in their bungalow, on the lawns of that bungalow. It's a small bungalow in the middle of Malabar Hill. Everyone walked away with the best meal possible, and he's someone who enjoys that reputation, that a simple person from a rural part of Maharashtra who comes to Mumbai, makes it to Varsha, cannot access him in Mantralay. Whether they meet him or don't meet him, will not walk away hungry. So I think voters see through who is an accessible leader, who is an inaccessible leader, and I think he brings tremendous goodwill to the table. He's like an iconic figure in Thane, and the politics of Mumbai, Thane, the MMR region, the Mumbai metropolitan region are not very different. So I think this debate and discussion about who has sympathy is completely untested electorally, and the first test will be the Lok Sabha elections.
What brings you to Davos?
Well, I'm here, as I said, in my personal capacity. I thought
you'd be because the Maharashtra government.
I've been trying to help in some ways. There are some people who I know personally. I've a good set of relations across the world, across industries, from politics to business to technology. And of course, my emphasis would be to try and bring people to consider investing in Maharashtra. There's some meetings which I did help organize with the Chief Minister.
This is what you're good at.
But I'm good. But for me, Rahul, whether I'm in Party A, Party B, in the government of India or not in the government of India, I like doing that. I'm very passionate about bringing investments to India, to Maharashtra. So of course, as a Mumbaikar, as someone who's grown up in the city, as a Maharashtrian, my goal will be to bring investments to Maharashtra. But to be very honest with you, there are some people I introduced to other states who have pavilions here. There is, and absolutely. And I introduce people to investors to other states. No, people. Why somebody doesn't have something in Maharashtra? Somebody has something in Karnataka. Somebody has something in Telangana. Regardless of which party is in power, this is about India. This is not about party. When people come here and people say, "Come to my state," ultimately, yes, every pavilion, every state government is competing against each other. Certainly, Maharashtra will say, "Come to us over Karnataka, over Telangana." That's healthy. But I believe that every chief minister and every state government ultimately wants India to win. And that to me has always been my focus. Like, how can we really bring investments to India? And I believe that you've probably seen this in the last few days as well. There are tremendous tailwinds for India. If you think of what's happening with China, China's aggression in the last few years, the kind of money that is also moving out of China globally, not just in private equity, but in public equities also. India has to just do the right things, small things, and I believe that there's no limit to the amount of inflows that can come in.
What are you making of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Nyaya Yatra, and how do you see the 2024 Lok Sabha elections?
Again, as I said, I've just left the party. I don't want to score political points, certainly not here in Davos. But I think that, look, I've always, at a personal level, admired the leadership of the Prime Minister. I've always felt that a man like him who came from nothing, who fought against all odds. I know industry very well. I know how he was working when he was a Gujarat Chief Minister. I would hear that not from the politicians, who politicians have to say what's good for the party. But I would hear that directly from the practitioners, directly from the investors who were going to Gujarat. So he's somebody who has always been dynamic. He's someone who's always been very forthright, quick, follow-up oriented. And I think he's done a tremendous service to this country, not just economically, but politically, strategically, militarily. People often say, that he's changed the perception of India. It's absolutely true. The first thing when you talk about India, you talk about Maharashtra, you talk about any other state, the first thing that comes to mind for an investor, oh, you have Prime Minister Modi as your Prime Minister. Then you have this good man as your Chief Minister. Then you have these policies in the center and the state. So that giving investors that confidence is very, very critical. And I've always admired him for that. And even in my last 10 years, despite a very hostile relationship between the opposition and the government, I have steered clear of attacking personally. I've always criticized or critiqued, given constructive suggestions purely on policy. And I'm really looking forward to strengthening his hands. And I really believe that the voters of India, every state has its individual dynamics, but the voters of India ultimately want a leader like him. And I think they understand that there's no alternative to the Prime Minister.
You've been itching and waiting for quite a while to have something real to do. Now you have a real challenge. Let's see.
No, I always had something to do. I was itching to do something constructive, because when I entered politics in 2004, I entered with a purpose to change things. I thought that I brought some value. I have some different experiences. Can I bring that to politics? And I had the opportunity to do that for a good 10 years when we were in power and we were in government. But I think the way that politics has become, Rahul, and not just in India, but around the world, politics has become so divided, so polarized, where you have to oppose for the sake of opposing. You can't provide constructive suggestions. And I'm done with that. I want to now move on to a more positive role where I can actually help take India forward, help take Mumbai forward.
Well, I look forward to tracking what you do and how you do it. Milind Deora, for joining us out in the cold here and joining us for this stroll. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Rahul.
Thank you.